Fawn Cox was murdered in her bed. Her killer was discovered using DNA 31 years later. In Kansas City, it was a hot, muggy night. Fawn, 16, had been working late at the Worlds of Fun amusement park. Fawn had gone straight to bed after her mother, Beverly, had picked her up and brought her home at 11 p.m. Fawn's younger sisters, Amber and Felisa, usually slept upstairs with her, but on that hot night, she was the only one. Someone broke into the house through an upstairs window, possibly by climbing on top of a pickup truck, and assaulted and strangled Fawn in her bed. At some point during the night, her sheets were stained with semen. Nothing was heard downstairs by her family. The sound of their loud air conditioner drowned out any upstairs noises. And when the family dog became agitated, they chalked it up to her being pregnant. Fawn's alarm went off at 9:30 a.m. to wake her up for work. Beverly and Felisa came upstairs to check on her when she failed to turn off the clock. I went over to shake her and said, "Come on, get up," Felisa told KCTV, a local television station, but she had been gone for quite some time. It was July the 26th, 1989 in the morning. It would take another 31 years for the family to discover who had murdered Fawn. Fawn was a high school student who had just received her learner's permit 3 days before. She went to church with her family weekly and enjoyed Amy Grant's music. Her bereaved father, John, found solace in the family's faith. Knowing that I'll be able to spend the rest of eternity with her someday is the only thing holding us together, he told a local newspaper. The crime shocked Kansas City, and it was thought the crime would be solved quickly. Police announced the arrest of 3 teenagers in August. A grand jury indicted one on first-degree murder, assault, and other charges. He was imprisoned for 8 months before being released after DNA tests failed to link him to the crime. The other 2 teenagers' charges were dropped. Police remained on the case following every lead, but they came up empty-handed. Fawn's family would not give up. Every time they heard about a breakthrough in DNA testing, they pushed the investigators to use it in Fawn's case. They raised funds and spoke to the press. They purchased billboards in Kansas City. Fawn was also not forgotten by the community. Monty Clark, a bus driver who had previously driven for Fawn's church, assisted with fundraising and spent 20 years researching the case himself. Everyone was close-knit, and everyone was trying to figure out why, who and why, he told Northeast News. A search of combined DNA index system, a database containing the DNA of every felon in the United States, yielded no results. Whoever murdered her was either never charged with a felony or is no longer alive, Sergeant Benjamin Caldwell told the Kansas City Star in 2017. People don't start killing and then stop as if they vanished from the face of the earth. Fawn's family and friends began fundraising for another billboard in 2019, 30 years after her death, by holding raffles and competitions. A billboard with a large photo of Fawn's face and the words, "Do you know who killed me?" went up. It offered a $10,000 reward for information leading to the killer's capture. We know someone out there is living a normal life that she never got to live, Felisa told KCTV. She never got to grow up and do things as we do now. Amber monitored what people were saying about the case on the internet. When she saw a true crime website post about Fawn's murder, she would thank the person for caring and ask them to use their real name if they had any information that could help the police. Amber admitted to local TV station Fox 4 in March 2020 that she was obsessed with her sister's murder. I ended up in the hospital because I got so overwhelmed, she added. She said she had always looked up to Fawn. I wanted to be just like her. She was my protector. When advanced genetic genealogy testing became available, the Kansas City police claimed it was extremely costly. However, the FBI began funding the testing in the middle of 2020. The case was solved in a matter of weeks. On November the 11th, 2020, police finally revealed Fawn's killer's identity. Donald Cox Jr. was her cousin. In 2006, he died of a drug overdose. The medical examiner investigated the death and took a blood sample because it was suspicious. Fawn's parents were sad but relieved. According to Captain Caldwell, who told Northeast News, they claimed to have wondered if Donald had murdered her. Felisa told KCTV that the news brought her peace of mind. The answers are not always what we expected, but there is some closure. These kind of stories make me so sad. They have their whole lives ahead of them, and then some monster comes along and throws it all away like they were garbage. I am sure it's quite hard for the family knowing that her very own cousin did this. It's one thing to think some stranger in the night came in and did this, but it's a whole nother to find out that it was a member of your family. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next one.